Hello and welcome back to A New You, Maximizing Life with a Disability. I'm Scott Chesney. Today's topic, making positive changes while leveraging fear. We all talk about making positive changes. That's what this program is all about, making positive changes to our lives. So you might be saying, duh, Scott, that's what we're trying to do. Why would we want to change anything? Is that, what ends up happening is that our minds get in the way. I want you at this time to think of any new change that you were looking to make to your life, any positive change that you were going to make to your life. There's that initial excitement. We get all excited. We think about what that will give us, but then all of a sudden things start to creep into the situation. Sometimes it's fear. And you might say, yeah, why does that happen? Why is it that when we have that positive change, maybe it's a new exercise routine, maybe it's going out and socializing, maybe it's meeting someone new, maybe it's a new job. We get all excited and thinking about what it might bring us. But then all of a sudden we start to think about, why it's not going to go right and why we might fail. And you've tried to do this before, your mind will tell you, and you have failed. You might be saying to yourself, yeah, why does that happen? Because any time when change enters the equation, guess what gets a hold of it first usually? That's our minds. I always like to share with people, when our minds are leading the way, it's about fear, disbelief, playing small in life. But we've been conditioned to listen to this, and that's a lot of the times where even that initial excitement ends up going. So we end up thinking, what's going to go wrong? Where it is that the failure is going to reside. So what ends up happening is that your mind will create excuses for you not to do it. And then your mind has control over you. Sound familiar? To many of us, we are slaves to our mind. But I'm going to tell you right here, right now, today is a new day, is that you can begin to make changes and answer to a higher power. But when we start to think about what it is that fear does to us, is that it starts to deplete our energy. I actually say the emotional paralysis fear can create is far more debilitating than any type of physical paralysis that we may have. That's how detrimental it can be. So a lot of times when we talk about making these positive changes is that we have to leverage fear. A lot of people say, well, you have to be fearless. You have to overcome fear. You know what? If fear was unnatural, then I would say, yeah, we have to overcome it in some way. But fear is natural, folks. It's natural. So, you know what, to say to be fearless, that's not being natural. It sounds admirable, but it's actually not logical. So what I like to do is say, let's leverage fear. Let's exhaust fear. Let's ask ourselves, what's the worst case scenario? Here are 3 questions. And these could be the new challenge for you today. 3 questions that you can ask yourself. What's the worst case scenario if I move forward in making this change to my life? Entertain that mind, see what it has to say. Second question you ask yourself, what's the best possible scenario if I move forward and make this change? And then the third question is, what's the most logical? What's probably going to happen out of all 3? Is that what's probably going to be the result of this? You have to ask yourself time and time again, those 3 questions. What's the worst case scenario? What's the best case scenario? And what's the most logical? Because what you're doing then is that you are leveraging the fear. You are exhausting the fear to the point where it's no longer consuming you and controlling you. I like to say that there's a great acronym with fear. Fictionalized evidence appearing real. It hasn't happened yet our minds create all this drama. So 2 other acronyms. Face everything and run, which maybe some of us can't do. Or we can face everything and rise. And those of us that have mobility disabilities, that's what we yearn to do. But that's what we can do with fear, ladies and gentlemen. And when we leverage fear, it becomes tremendous energy. Think of any time that you were scared and you move forward in the face of fear through that heart, through that courage. Guess what? You get energy, you get alertness, you get a heightened awareness of your surroundings. That's what we need to do with fear. We can't let it consume us anymore because it is far too debilitating. And to move forward with this program, to get into socialization, to get into finding a new job, dating and relationships, we have to put fear in its proper context. And that is not letting us control us. It's about leveraging it and saying to ourselves, wow, Look at what we've done, because I know that there's so many of you out there. You would never be where you are today. Think about where you were at the beginning stage of your disability, and think about where you are now. And think about those baby steps and those giant leaps that you took. Is that in some way, shape, or form, you had to push forward through that fear that says, I can't do it, or you have failed in the past. You pushed through it because you went into that area of your heart where your courage resides. I always tell people, when your heart's leading the way, then it's about courage, it's about expansion. It's about subscribing to that belief that anything is possible. So again, ask those 3 questions of yourself. That's your new challenge for the week. Think about those positive changes that you want to make. I want you to bring them into your mind. I want you to understand, not if, but when it is that you make this happen, how that will make you feel. That will help you to make positive changes in your life as well. So moving forward is that you'll see at the bottom of your screen is that you'll see a red subscribe button. If you are enjoying this journey so far and you feel that you are making positive changes and this is your guide, then I want you to hit that button so that you can watch this and you can actually see from time to time the changes that are going on. And so if you have any questions or comments based on today's program, you could always email me at scott.chesney@newmotion.com. So that's scott.chesney@newmotion.com. Until then, I want to wish you continued success in creating a new you. Make it a great day.